Greetings, everyone. This is Kimmy, Mama Kimmy Flowers, and I hope you are having a beauty-filled Saturday. Yes, this is Saturday, the day after the new moon. Um, Today is such a beautiful day. I was outside this morning getting some sun, and I couldn't help but think, like, man, how grateful I am for everything. Just the ability or just the gift of another day, of giving another chance to make all your wrongs right, to uplift each other and doing all those things, facing your inner demons, facing everything. Just another day for all of these things to take place is beauty in itself. Give thanks and gratitude for that to the Most High, to God Creator, for all of the gifts that we're given. I was sitting there putting my feet in the grass and leaning up against the tree and looking up and just thinking, wow, I even picked the apple off the apple tree in the backyard and I had one and I was thinking, gosh, like just the abundance that we are given here, just the abundance. Um, I think it's so important that, as humans, because, the planet can live and thrive without us. It doesn't necessarily need us, we need it. All the plants and all the fruits and stuff that we eat that contain seeds, save those seeds and stick them in the ground. That is why Mama, that's why Gaia has placed those seeds inside of those plants so that you can basically put them back in the ground and reproduce. You want to, the idea is that you try to give more than what you take. And I know that's hard because we're breathing, we're living, we're taking in this sun, these vitamins, all this, and eating and drinking water and all this. But if you can just try to give back more than what you take, that right there is amazing in itself. The fact that you're putting forth that effort and trying to put that energy out into the universe, is that intent, is beautiful. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about just my thoughts based on visions, dreams, and things that I have on religion. A lot of these visions and dreams that I had started years and years and years ago and just became more intense as of late. Um, like I say, I don't really share a lot of my dreams and visions and things like that, or just kind of like the clarity that I gain. I usually try to focus more on, getting the body right so that you can tap into the source itself that I have basically, I feel like I've tapped into. Um, so yeah, religion. When we start to think about religion and we think about the origins, we look back to, all the fallen societies, Lemuria, Atlantis, all these whatever, or Egypt, you look even to Egypt. We look at let's go to Egypt. Everybody always wants to pay homage to the, Egyptians and everything, and name themselves after these Egyptian deities and all that, and all this great stuff came out of Egypt. But the something that was basically further revealed to me was the fall. You know, um, Gosh, I can't remember when it was, but I had this amazing dream. I have this woman that comes to me. Her name, I call her my golden mother. I've called her that since I was a small girl. And she looks exactly like me, but she's older. She's an older version of me. She is golden. She wears all white and she's golden. And around the time when I was really questioning a lot of things, she came to me about religion and Egyptology because I started about 9 years ago. I started kind of, falling into that whole, New Age thing a little bit, and the Egypt, all how, the kings and queens and all that. And she basically showed me. Let me just tell you the dream. So in the dream, I am in the woods, and in the wooded area that is by the house that I was living in at that time, where I used to kind of go to meditate. And she took me into this cave, and the cave looked like a vagina. It literally looked like a vagina. And as I walked into this cave, it was like a portal. And I stepped into this portal, and it took me back to the ancient Egyptian times. And she showed me around to all of these different places. She showed me the beautiful pyramids. She showed me, the writings on the wall. She showed me mathematics. She showed me religion. She showed me tantra. She showed me technology. She showed me all of these amazing gifts, or all these amazing things that were given to us by out of the Egyptian society. When we look back to like mathematics and even medicine with Imhotep, and we look back to just overall technology, we finding batteries, and looking at the pyramids, and all those type of things, and then the sciences that came out of there, and then even religion, you know um the religious aspect of it, and then the laws of Ma'at and all this. She explained to me that the women were the pharaohs, and that they had fallen. They had fallen so far from grace. um, they'd given their bodies over to these lower vibrational beings. You know, and on the wall, she explained to me that even on the walls where you see the flying saucers, that was the fourth dimensional, some of the fourth and fifth dimensional beings, what we call, what I guess were grays, or whatever you want to call. I'm not going to try to go into that, but let me, not specifics. I just want to go into that. I know what it is, but I just don't want to go into that. The lower vibrational beings, and they gave these women, technology and all this stuff in exchange for their bodies, because these beings didn't have the ability to create life. They didn't have the ability to recreate themselves, basically clone themselves. They didn't have the ability to do that. So they needed the hardware, where the body, the human body, is hardware. That is exactly what's going on today, where the government and a lot of these entities are being, or these, beings are allowed to, or made a deal with the government. They're allowed to abduct and take humans as they wish, in trade, in exchange for some technology and information, because this body that we're in is a shell. It doesn't, it's holding a soul. It holds something, but it's hardware. So you have the hardware, which is like the computer, and the software, which is the information. They have a lot of good software, and well, a lot of their software, but they didn't have the hardware for it. So now, they do. So going back to this time, they gave up of their wombs, these women, because up until this time there was immaculate conception. There was not, the woman wasn't bleeding. That's a sacrifice. you know, um, Women would literally get pregnant from the sun touching their skin. And I saw this in dreams as a young girl. The same type of action that takes place when a star is born, that boom, that is the same what happens when a sperm hits or enters an egg. That it's the same. It can't even be measured by anything here on earth. Just the amount of boof that takes is it's equal. It's astronomical. It's very intense, the energy that it takes for this to occur. So bringing that to, thinking about that, I was like, man, and I'm thinking about the words like fallopian tubes, which is the fall of pain, the fall of pain tubes. Up until this point, the woman's womb didn't have these things. This was a terraformation of the womb, just like a lot of other things were terraformed. And when the fall of consciousness came, the laws had to be given. So those laws that were given had to basically replicate your moral compass, your moral guide, because obviously you don't know what you're doing. You've fallen so far, So here are the laws, my eye. Also, here is the compass, which is the Ankh is a compass, you know, to guide, teach you how to create a being with a soul being, to keep the bloodline going, because now we're mixing soulless with soul beings. To the lower beings mating and utilizing the woman's womb and eggs and all of this to create their bloodline. And so the sun, the physical sun, which was once like impregnating us, was then personified in the sons, utilizing the men and or the sons of the planet to impregnate the woman, the women, to create this. And the tantric sex, that idea, what that science was given so that you could follow these laws. The laws of Ma'at was given so you could follow these laws. Religion was given. Science, all these stuff were as a result of the fall, because before that, even written, the Metu Neter, the written word was given after this, after the fall. Because beforehand, you think about it, telepathy. These beings were operating at such a higher level, like the telepathy, all this. And now we're speaking, and now there's that now we have to have physical sex. Now everything is very dense and lower and very deliberate and heavy and materially and mattery. So looking into that and thinking about that, I started to meditate on where we are today as a society when it comes to religion. All these good books, the Quran, the Bible, all these amazing books. And they're literally maps. They're literally maps. They are mapping out the path back to self. Path back to self. This whole entire cycle has been about reclaiming. All of these little things are breadcrumbs back to self, going back to 0 point, going back to that point where we were before the fall. That wholeness there, that connection, that knowing, that balance. That is where this is headed, where you are to get back into yourself. So all this outside religion stuff, that is literally like a training wheels. They're tools, resources to help to train your mind, your vibration, to build that faith, to pull you out of this lower density, this third dimensional realm that everything is sticky and heavy, where you have to see it to believe it, where you no longer believe in a higher power, where this is to give you faith, to remind you of the greatness. Because a lot of these words, a lot of these things, no matter how much man has messed with it, deep down inside the resonance, there's something that resonates with you about it. And when I say you, I'm speaking about myself, and I'm speaking to myself, because I know not everybody can resonate with the words in the Bible. We're not all the same beings. We have a lot of different races of beings on this planet right now, and to date, I've met about 80 plus races, different races of beings that I've come across, and I can pinpoint and see they're not XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. So when I'm speaking to you guys, I'm not speaking to the every single person out there, the one that doesn't resonate with my words, but what I am doing is I'm speaking to the ones that know what I'm talking about, can resonate, and are from where I originate. Okay? So at this time, at this moment, here we are. And this is a very important moment that we are at right now. We have been given all the tools. We have been given everything that we needed to get back to self. We've had messengers that have been put in place to try to lead us back to self. Self. Some have tried to veer off the path in history and tried to get you to go behind them and whatever. But at the end of the day, the message is not about the messenger. The message was not about Jesus. It wasn't about Jesus Christ. It wasn't about whatever. It's about that Christ consciousness. It's about reaching that within you, because Christ consciousness, that crystal being, is within you. You are crystallizing. You are literally raising in vibration. You are getting up there. You are about to level up if you have known thyself. If you have taken the time to implement these things, to detach yourself from anything. All this religion stuff, all of this physical stuff is, like I said, it is a map. It is a map, and you have to get off that grid. That map, that word, the physical of it is on a grid. That grid is a trap. You have to level up past that grid, because you have to live off grid. You have to live off that grid. That is how you have to free yourself. The door opens one way. You have to free yourself. And man, the clarity in this, the clarity in all of this. So we have come to a time where the only leadership that the planet, the vibration is supporting, is that of the Most High. Period. Go within yourself, because this time now where we are at this moment has been leading us. Everything that we've been doing up until this point with the religion and everything is supposed to be leading you back to yourself, back inside yourself. That is where the breadcrumbs lead. The Bible, the religion, the groupthink, all of that, that is essential to a part of this path. But there also comes a part where you are accountable for self. And the reason why you're accountable for self is because it's all about self. It's all about self. Everybody is trying to detox. Everybody is trying to do all of these things right now, too, because they know that going into this space, this energy, guess what? All of these toxins, heart weights, all these things can't, they can't live, you know. So at the end of at a point where you are now at this point in your path, you most definitely have to take into consideration all of the things that you have been through, document everything, write everything out, do everything that you feel like you need to do right now. Don't try to ignore anything that has happened. Don't try to be, like, oh, I'm over this, I'm over that. Make sure that it's gone. I don't care. Don't A weed needs to be pulled out by its roots. You can't just chop it off. It's gonna come back, and when you chop it, it comes back stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So, I just want to encourage everybody. I want to encourage everyone out there to continue on their path, to continue their growth, to you know, really dig down deep into all of the issues that are at hand. Making sure that you are taking the time and everything that you need to establish a type of balance within your life. And when I say balance, I'm saying that not everything is beautiful and good and lovely and all that. You can't just act like, oh, it's all good and, this and this and that. And then everything opposite of that is just, oh, all bad. Da, da, da. There has to be a balance because one cannot exist without the other, and the other has a purpose. Both have a purpose. You see what I'm saying? So you have to acknowledge both to bring it back full circle. We are coming back full circle. This is the point where we started, the fall. Now we coming back up. Bam, we have to come back to that point. And religion, groupthink, divisionism, following behind people, all that stuff is about to go by the wayside. All those constructs are falling apart. They're going to fall apart. They continue to fall apart because it's following an old map. It's following an old dynamic that has not worked, will not work, has never worked, and the planet is not tolerating it anymore. You are responsible for yourself. Responsible for yourself. And with that, I want to encourage you and leave you with love, balance, fearlessness. You cannot be broken. This is a time where we have to rise up. We have to take full accountability for everything that happens in our life, for everything that goes on in our path. We have to do that. You are fearless. You are wholeness. You are wonderfully made. You are everything that you need to be. You are given everything that you need to be given. You have it all within you. Now, detachment. Detach doesn't mean, oh, I'm not talking to that person anymore. If you are going through life and you're still thinking about this and thinking about that and getting welled up about something when it gets brought up, you're not detached. Everybody is thinking about things too physical. Detachment isn't, okay, I stop talking to you, I unfollow you on every social media network, and then sit around and think and be like, or not talk to your mom, or not talk. Detachment is very spiritual. Okay, detachment has everything to do with you detaching in the spiritual sense, in the physical sense. You know, you can stop talking to somebody and be attached. You should be detached from everything. There should be nothing in your life, that in this physical life, that you feel like you cannot live without, other than other than the Most High's. That is it. And everything else outside of that is a distraction. Take it how you like it. I'm speaking truth. Everything outside of that is a distraction. So all of this comes back to you. All of this comes back to self. All of this comes back to, who are you in the eyes of the Most High? That's what it all comes back to. So I am excited to be here to encourage you guys and share with you guys some of the things that have been on my heart, some of the things that have been on my mind. And you may agree and you may not. That doesn't bother me. But what I do know is that it's time that we take full accountability for our past, because no one can save you. No one. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. You cannot you cannot detach from church and Jesus and all this stuff and go follow behind X, Y, and Z in the same manner and think it's different. You can't do that. So, with that being said, I got my mom and my son going in the background there. With that being said, I definitely want to encourage you all on your path and let you know that everything that you need is within you. Everything. It's up to you to tap into it. Because as you tap into it and as you decode, clarity. There comes a time where you can't use Google to look up information. What are you going to do when, in, let's say, a month or 2 months or 3 months, you have no more technology? You have no more Google. You have no more, yeah, Google looks stuff up. You have no more Twitter. You have no more social media. You have no more email. You have no more phone. What are you going to do? Is your relationship or your connection with the Most High strong enough? Ask yourself these questions. These are real questions that you need to be asking yourself. Is your heart right? Is it light? I love you guys. You know, uh, you just don't know how much love I have in my heart for everyone. Everybody has a role to play, and I'm playing mine. That's all I can say. So you guys have a beauty filled, beauty filled day. Enjoy the rest of your day and continue on your path. And the moment that you need clarity on something, go within. Go within. Go within. When I say go within, write it down, close your eyes, and meditate. You guys have a beauty filled day. Trying to figure out how this stops, okay? And I leave you with love again, uh, all of that good stuff that you need. Anything that the Most High has for you that you need, I leave you with all of that. Have a beauty filled day.